Today is 24 September 2015, 13:28 hours. Take a trip into Adecco's staffing services to clarify and confirm if it's legal or even company policy to dismiss somebody for being prepared for work, where it shows hood policy says nothing about coming to work prepared with tools, Gerber, box cutter. It's an industrial assignment, but we're going to confirm, because it seemed Miss Pam Lynch yesterday, who was called to the company at Hood Packaging to walk me out of the building because I wore tools. So we're going to have a policy here where we may have possibly have a case of racial discrimination, since there were two other people with me in orientation who had no problem whatsoever. I was the only one that was called off the line. So bear with me, and may not possibly be good audio, but video will definitely possibly show. So let's have a good show. How you doing, brother? Good afternoon. Sure.
What can I do for you?
I'm looking for conclusive on this job dismissal yesterday.
Okay, you're looking for a what?
I'm looking for a conclusion. I'd like to know.
I haven't heard back from corporate yet, so. But I want
Your
to get your
corporate?
new phone number. You said you got a better number.
So I have to hear back from corporate.
You want me to leave that number on there? 256?
No, you can take that down. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This is kind of like old school when it comes to.
I'm sorry?
I'm kind of old school when it comes to these phones, so I'm sorry if it's taking a little bit. All right, I got. I guess this is it. Serial number. I'm sorry, I just started this service the day before. Should have started this phone number here. Give me a second, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. I have to get that. This phone is retarded. So am I.
Well, just call me back. So.
I'll give you a call back with that number.
Way, I'm gonna leave this one on here, so I know how to call you.
Well, it's my Gmail that you can reach me by, but yeah.
If I call that number, does it come to that phone?
No, unfortunately, they'll have to contact me through
Just
Facebook.
the minute you know what that number is, let me know.
Yes. I'd like to know. I mean, because I read over the policy and dress code, and you know, I didn't see anything about not having tools on an industrial site. So I'd like to know if there's a more credible reason why I was dismissed from the job for being prepared for work in an industrial site. Is there a reason? Because I could be working today, and unfortunately I'm not. I'd like to know why it is my position was canceled, because I show nothing on the paperwork for hood policy, dress code, otherwise states anything that prevents a person from coming to work prepared with industrial tools to an industrial site. So, were there any further correspondence between yourself and Hood Packaging related to this incident? No, they just canceled me because they wanted to cancel me.
I'm waiting to hear back from corporate, and the minute I do, I'll call you, or you can call me.
Okay, so you're saying that they stated that I had a knife, which proves to be false. That's why I was humiliated and pulled off the line during my orientation in front of everybody.
That's why you're upset.
No, I'm just clarifying at this point. Okay. I revert back to my days with the police department.
I'll call you the minute I know.
I just feel that the fact that there was no advocating from your end in relations to this matter, when it shows clearly that there was no grounds for dismissal, for officially on their paperwork that you gave me.
That's what they're researching now.
Yeah. But I want to know why I was accused of having an offensive weapon when all I carry is work tools.
You were accused of having an offensive weapon.
So technically, they just pull anybody off of orientation for whatever reason they feel.
But you couldn't. They said you can't wear that.
Yeah, and I complied. I put it in the office. When I came out of the orientation room after being humiliated on the floor, I came and I saw my bag outside. I saw it in the hallway. So obviously, it had been moved from the secure location that I placed it upon their orders, as per their orders. I complied with everything that they required.
Well, that's not the story that the customer gave me, so that's where we are. And
well,
so
we have surveillance cameras within the buildings that clearly show, and I want to know why that hasn't even been considered as of yet.
Well, I'm sure they will.
Oh, so they
check it out.
Oh. Has this gone to a law enforcement proceeding? So if somebody's accused of having a weapon on site, and
nobody could get a weapon on site.
Well, they said I had a knife. Now you can either utilize a knife for industrial purposes, which on an industrial site, or we can have an offensive weapon, which is clearly marked on the wall, no weapons allowed. Okay, but I don't have a weapon. I have a work utility tool. Screwdriver, wrench.
Yeah, you showed him to me yesterday.
Was that offensive?
To me?
Yeah. In your opinion?
I mean, I don't run their work sites.
I work for Aristide and I work for TimberTech, which are both also industrial environments. Why all of a sudden, when I saw somebody clearly in their ground on their floor plant in the dye area or printing area, there was someone clearly using a box cutter, and seen by the supervisor of human resources, who told him to put it away. He was not fired.
Do you want to write that up so we've got your statement?
I don't see why it would have to come down to this point. I mean, there should have been more further confirmation. I mean, why weren't the police called?
Statements, and you were to call me yesterday after 2.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I was on the phone.
No, I know. I'm saying.
I'm trying to find work. You know, I'm
call
about
me
to lose
after
my
2
place.
so I could take your statement. And you're here now. Would you like to write up your statement, or do you want to hear back?
Do you think I should seek counsel? Because clearly there were no grounds for me to be dismissed from a job where I was properly prepared to work. I was told I couldn't even carry a pen.
Who told you you couldn't carry it?
There was the lady that came to me on the floor, the older lady from Human Resources, the one that told me to. I'm sorry, I have to make. There were 2 separate women, and one was young.
Lynn was the.
I wasn't there long enough to make acquaintances on that level.
Amanda was the other lady.
Amanda, and
I'm just saying, don't say
I was just told. I don't mean it in a disrespectful manner. And I'm doing it because I had to decipher between 2 people.
The second lady, yeah,
yes.
That's fine.
The lady came out.
Which one asked you to take
the younger lady? They were both working with each other because it seemed that the younger lady was giving initially the orientation, and then she was called back, and I was told I needed to remove my backpack first, my tools.
Before they went on the tour.
Right, and my pen, because I couldn't have a pen. I was writing with my pen to take notes from the orientation, which, if a boss sees you come in on orientation and you're taking notes, and two other people are just sitting there listening,
who would you worry about somebody else?
But I'm talking on a professional standard, because that's what I was doing. I can present my notes. Okay, I'm here to work. Right. I'm 46 years old. I'm dying from cancer. Can I just work my life? Yes. I have my medical reports as well.
Well, why would that even come up?
Well, because I don't know how old you see me as, but I'm not a 20-something-year-old kid. I'm not a 19-year-old kid. I'm a mature person. I come to work. I don't come there to play around, lollygag, whatever it is that they want to present workers now as, because we're, in the corporate view of things, workers are expendable. But when it becomes a position where people are expendable for coming to work, prepared to work, that's a problem. I don't know if this makes any sense or if it's even, it seems trivial. No, I just try to be mature about it.
And I talked to you about what I was told. And I'm asking you to please write down your side of it. You don't have to do it here. You can bring it back to me. I went to Hood. I did this. I was told to do this. And that way they've got your side of the story. And then corporate will get back to me, and then I'll give you a call, or you call me, and then.
And am I going to get my job back at Hood or not? Because if it clears out that I'm not guilty of anything, then there were other reasons why I was pulled off that line. Oh.
They asked you to remove your tools. You told them no.
I did not tell them no.
Okay.
If I put my bag down in the office, why would I need to tell them no about putting my tools in the bag? And then to find my bag out in the exterior hallway leading to the front doors, I was escorted out of the building. That's called humiliation. And if there aren't any official policies stating that somebody can't come to an industrial site with their own tools on their first day without knowing the real reasons or the real rules and regulations when it doesn't state it on the paperwork you gave me, then that's a violation of my rights. Because they clearly saw somebody operating with a box cutter in their printing department. We all saw it. The lead human resources lady saw it herself. If obviously he wasn't a company-issued box cutter, he came in from home with it. Does the company issue box cutters?
I can't address that. I do not know the answer to that question.
Okay. Well, as soon as I can decipher this phone, I'll have the number for you. Am I not allowed to work now? I mean, are there other jobs?
I'm investigating this situation, and then after that's resolved, then we will see where we end up.
Okay. Should I have a lawyer contact you?
You can do whatever you would
No, I just, I'm looking at it legally because it doesn't seem like, I'm getting very much answers here.
I'm sorry.
So somebody who comes to work, I clearly show you what I'm wearing here. Obviously doesn't view as an offensive weapon display. Okay? I wasn't carrying a firearm or an offensive weapon. I was carrying tools to work. You saw it. They saw it. It's not on their policy. So I'd like to know where the violation occurred. Is it on your policy? If you instruct people to come to work prepared and they come to work prepared and are dismissed,
we thought we were doing a very good job of that.
Yeah.
Obviously not.
So your view is contempt against me.
Have to figure out what to change so it doesn't happen again.
Coming to work with tools?
That wasn't the issue.
What was the issue? Did I describe myself as a former auxiliary police officer and firefighter after they told me to put my tools down?
Again, I was not there. I'm only going on what their statement was.
So their view of me after describing myself as such was that I had an offensive weapon on me?
No, nobody said that. I have
a
no
knife
statement
is considered an offensive weapon in jurisdiction.
Okay, well then
criminal
you know more
jurisdiction.
than we do.
I was accused of having a weapon on the premises. A knife is a weapon.
Okay.
A utility
I'm not going to cite.
tool
Okay,
is not a weapon.
So, you want to get me your phone number? Okay,
Will
thank
do.
you, please.
When do you guesstimate that I should be able to return to work?
Oh, I'm hoping we can have it resolved by 5 today.
I appreciate the time.
Thank you.
Thank you. You have a good day.